I'm going to give a spoiler warning because there's a show that came out on Tuesday, and it was Ahsoka, episode 6. So we have 2 more episodes in this first season. Like I said, Dave Filoni is cooking. So spoiler warning, I'm going to count on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because I want to talk about what this line is going to look like and whether it could reach the heights of Mando season 1 and 2. Season 3, yeah, we're pretty much writing that one off. People don't really care as much. But like I said, spoiler warning, this boy right here showed up in episode 6. And guys, as someone who has no connection to this character, I did not watch Rebels. I know he exists. That's as much as I know, right? Watching him come in and Lars Mikkelsen, dude, he fucking killed it.
He killed it.
Absolutely killed it. Absolutely killed it. Absolutely killed it, bro. I like every second he was on screen, I was like,
this any colder of a line that you could have picked for when he walks in? He's like, what was once a dream has now become a frightening reality for those who might oppose us. What an opening line. That was so
beautiful, bro. Like, he's so calculating, you can tell. And that's what I love about him. But again, dude, and what was it? I forget the name of the creature, this creature, Kiko, that was Howler, right? That Sabine was riding. I told Kiko Riley, that was a missed opportunity. Yeah, that was an opportunity. Maybe the authors will still do it, but I think that was a missed opportunity to not put Sabine with that. Like, I think that would have been something. You couldn't spoil it before the show, but maybe wait to announce it. Maybe they still will, but I think that would be pretty cool. You're definitely getting a Thrawn, though. But how deep is this line going to go? And is it going to win collectors over? Because Ahsoka's winning collectors over right now. Could it be a hot Mando level line where they just make fucking everything? Kiko, what do you think, bro? I mean, what heights could this reach?
Before we get to that, I want to say shout out to our OG boys.
Ooh.
That was here for Dark Force Rising, Heir to the Empire, The Last Command. Jeez. This is what, you know, these are the ones that made Thrawn who he was, you know, 1991, 92. This is where Thrawn came from. And for all of us who had said, I remember when they said, hey, he's coming to canon in Rebels. And we're like, well, he's going to be a cartoon. Okay, I'll still take it because he's the coolest, you know, character I feel that they've ever made, like outside of your core Star Wars people. So for this moment, for him to walk onto the screen, like we'd seen the trailers and all that stuff, but when the Chimera comes and lands and then they just start the military processional and the organ is playing very Davy Jonesy, you know, and he walks in and it was just so good. And there's so many people that they're like, I'm sorry, this just isn't my he's supposed to be 70 at this point, by the way. My man is 70 years old, and they're like, well, wasn't he always talking, went back in Rebels about how fitness and working out was great? Okay, outside of like Mick Jagger and Steven Tyler, how many people in their 70s look exceptional? I think he looks pretty damn good. So just wanted to get that out there, is that Thrawn is still my boy. Mikkelsen is my guy. And for every line that he said, simply just going back to the mothers asking for aid for their dark magic, you know, things like that was so good. And I can't wait to see where it comes. Now let's talk about the figures. Mando season 3 went out with like a wet fart. It was so sad.
It went out with a circle.
It was so sad. That was my interest.
It was like a black hole, dude.
What a miss. What a mistake. I think that people are and here people have been so unfairly critical about this show. I feel they're like we were talking about with Dean this morning or whatever. I don't know if he was posting that about this or just the Star Wars sequels in general. They've made a lot of mistakes. They really have. But if you cannot look at this show and see them trying, I don't know what to tell you. I feel like there's some people that literally hate it because I even X'd this, tweeted this, whatever you want to call it, is that I understand that rage clicks and rage tweets are what get things going. People love that when you shit on things. But that is disingenuous to say that this show is not the closest thing to Lucas Star Wars and the actual Star Wars in general. And everyone's like, well, I shouldn't have to watch a cartoon to appreciate this. Or I shouldn't have to watch 13 seasons of a show to be able to caught up. You don't have to. They literally Will, you had said that you had not seen all these different things. And someone even called you out in the chat that the first three episodes said, wow, Will said this is kind of mid right now. And I was like, hold up. Let him cook. And that's what I said. I told you that because I said I'm putting all my stock in this. Episode 4, boom. Episode 5, boom. Episode 6, fuck. And then there's still 2 episodes that they could shit the bed. I'm not discounting that because I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it. But I'm awfully hopeful because what I heard, everyone's like, Dave Filoni's not God. I can't believe you trust that shill. Can't believe that corporate guy that just toes the line. He ain't anything that Luke. Fine. Just be miserable and never enjoy anything again. That's fine. But I am enjoying this. If you cannot look at that picture on the screen, and because I can hear this picture and know what is going on, I mean, there are fanatical troopers that are most likely reanimated corpses.
Yep.
What is wrong with that? Everyone's like, I'm excited about this. So back to the toys again. I'm sorry, I get fired
the
up
only
about
one
this
thing I will add, the only problem with the show, some of the choreography. But other than that,
correct.
That's fair.
But it's because they don't have the right person doing it. You watch Anakin, boy, it almost looked like Hayden Christensen knew what he was doing. Is it possibly he was trained by a better master? Most likely. They got to work some of the choreography out. That's fine. But damn, this is good. I think it's great. So back to the toys again. People are looking to put their interest into something. This, I think, is gonna do it. As long as they don't shit the bed, as long as it doesn't spiral out of control, this has potentials. I mean, when they, I don't know if I can send this to you real quick, but they had the 4 original posters that they showed for this week, Will, and I love this. I'm sending it to you. I don't know if it'll show up or not. But I was like, this, where's my guy at? I was like, this is Star Wars. And if you can't look at this and this is a great representation of what the visuals are, here it is. It's sent right now. It's got Night Sisters. It's got some really cool troopers. And then some people are just whining again about saying, I don't understand why they're just putting golden stormtrooper on it with Captain Enoch. You are missing the point of some of what the things that they're trying to do. His entire ship is decked out in gold again because they are repairing it. It is that Japanese art, which I don't know the official term for, but it's kind of what they did with Kylo's helmet, the idea of rebuilding something anew and purifying it with gold and such like that. It's an art form that they talked about, and it's a deep lore cut. And it's a beautifully, look at that. You don't tell me that that is not some cool visual aesthetics.
Right.
You can go ahead and put Snoke on there or Rose Tico. These are light years. Put even Phasma on there. Not even close. These are light years cooler. And if you don't want figures of these, then have a boring shelf.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, bro. This Thrawn, though, man.
And for everyone in the comments saying Shin, yes,
Tristan,
I agree.
Tristan wants that
Shin.
Yeah, Tristan
has to happen. Kintsugi is what it is. Saiful just said Kintsugi is the art. That's an actual Japanese art.
Bro, I think 100%, bro. When Shin gets announced, the internet's gonna break. Like I think for sure, Hot Toys collecting internet is gonna.
She was announced today for the Star Wars Black series.
Oh, was she? Nice. Okay.
Balin and Shin, and Balin looked great. And then the funniest thing is that people are saying this is not good. And one of the comments was, "You ever heard of that company called Shein?"
I think so. Yeah, I think
it's like an off-brand clothing company you get from like whatever. But anyway, they put Shein Hati was it? And then
I know that.
They're like, damn, put her back in the oven. This one ain't cooked yet. And, but yeah, when Shin comes, people will
lose their shit.
Yeah.
Riley, what about you, bro? I mean, are you loving this show? I mean, do you think this is going to be a deep line, a profitable line for Hot Toys? I mean, as far as non-collectors, Star Wars fans are on board with this show from what I've seen. I think most people are really, really enjoying it. Again, the choreography, some of it. Hayden's and Ahsoka's was fine. That was great. But like you said, Kiko, Anakin, Hayden Christensen almost seemed more like he was trained better. Like when you watch Sabine, some of it's a little rough.
Right.
But I think Thrawn and the rest of the show surrounding it is really good. And Tristan was absolutely right. So the first 3 episodes were mid as fuck. I didn't like them really. I was really, but I felt very WandaVision. I told Kiko that, Riley. I felt very much like I'm almost ready to give up on the show after 3 episodes. Episode 4 came, I became a believer. And ever since then, the last 3 episodes have been really strong. Riley, what do you think? Where's the show going in terms of its profitability with the fans? Because Andor was great, but it didn't get people on board really for collecting.
Yeah, dude. This is a great question. I think, well, firstly, I mean, Kiko hit it right on the money. Yeah, Dave Filoni, he's creating some amazing stuff. And I know people were hating on my boy Thrawn. They're like, oh, Thrawn's that's that guy in the Rebels show, that cartoon. Who cares about that? Who cares about Thrawn or whatever. But then he shows up looking like an absolute badass. And every line, like Kiko goes, and you guys were saying, like, Oh my god, I cannot wait to see more of it because it was. He was
I mean,
so
he even
intimidating.
says, he's like, if a space whale approaches Peridia, blast it out of the sky with prejudice. I love that. He's
Literally.
like, blast
Dude,
it out
his
of the sky with
vocabulary is off the
prejudice.
charts. Like,
Yeah.
And
it's
he's just like, and then he says like, "Oh, you can even kill your little mercenaries." Like, he's just such a badass, bro.
Yeah,
Like, I
right.
love it, dude. So I'm excited to see more of it. I'm excited to see this line. And like you said, I think it is. I really do think it's the Star Wars gold mine for Hot Toys. I think this is going to be really popular. Mando season 1 or 2 level, I think so, really. And we're gonna have to see how the last two do. Of course, might, like Kiko said, might fall off, but I've got really high expectations. I'm ready for it. I think, and like you said, this isn't just Ahsoka, like the series for people who like Ahsoka. This is generations of the Rebels fans who love this stuff. And when we get these figures, people are like, yes, this is my representation for the animated stuff. And then you can fit it with your Clone Wars stuff. Like, there's so many different universes you can set these figures in, and it works perfectly. So that's what I love about Star Wars. You can just fit it with almost everything. And there's just a lot of potential to do some cool stuff. Yeah, the Stormtrooper.
Someone's saying that's
Obviously.
Phasma 2.0. I mean, you've already gotten some colder lines from him
Nah.
in 15 minutes. I mean, come on. I mean, you were just
100%.
nitpicking at that point.
No, yeah, he's gonna be
And that
amazing.
Stormtrooper design, Riley, is cool as fuck with the gold.
Yeah,
That's really
no,
cool.
it's dope. It's super different. I love the outfit designs, even for Balin and Shin. Like, their outfits are fire. I love
They
their
are.
outfits. They're really good. I think if those two are gonna be really hot items for sure. Obviously, Shin, that's gonna be really funny when Hot Toys does that. If someone said an artisan Shin, could you imagine an artisan version with rooted hair? That would be crazy. But overall, I'm super excited for it. I cannot wait for the next episodes. I cannot wait to see the end of the show. I think you're right. I think there's a lot of Star Wars. The hype was really down. It was at a really bad place, but Dave Filoni came here and he created some really great, just great storytelling. So I think a lot of hot toy collectors will pick up these figures and pick up a lot of them. So yeah, I think it's a great seller.
I think so too, bro. And I think these dead troopers are gonna sell. I think people will buy
Night
multiple
Troopers,
of
they're
them.
officially called.
What are they called?
Got it.
Night Troopers.
Night Troopers,
There you
yeah.
go.
Dead Night Troopers. Yeah, because I mean the Night Sisters were really cool too. I don't know that those will be made into figures, but they would look really cool. Like, if you put
Yeah,
that
for
into a
sure.
figure form, those would look really cool.
Scary.
Yeah, they would be scary, absolutely, bro. They're kind of like the Nun. They almost look like the Nun or something.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
All I know is that I'm throwing it out there and hoping it doesn't happen. Can you imagine if they completely just like kill Thrawn in the final episode and he never escapes the planet?
Oh, dude.
And they just leave and they're like, "Yep, galaxy restored." Can you imagine how
No,
terrible that would be?
so
Oh my
pissed off.
god, dude. That would be
Then
so fucked up.
you want to talk about the internet breaking?
That's
Mhm.
another
I don't think
Mando
Dave
season
Filoni would
3.
do that. I think he knows better than that. Yeah,
Hopefully.
I think he knows better than that. But again, look, I'm not necessarily, giving him everything, all entrusting him with everything. But I will say that I am pretty excited with what I've seen in the last 3 episodes. So yeah, and look, like I mentioned, Andor, really great show. But I don't know if it got people to the point where like, fuck yeah, Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, it was a
Right.
really great
Because
show.
it didn't look like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Most people are like,
Right.
It was
"What's
just a
happening
really
here?"
well
Yeah.
done story and a
It
really
didn't
well
have like that
directed written performance.
lightsaber action.
Yeah, right.
Lightsabers, force, stuff like that. This is where a lot of collectors or Star Wars people will be at. for
Super cool, but it's just not, I don't know. And that's why I think Hot Toys didn't really touch it, because they were like, well, I don't know that
Right.
people will buy these. Like, that's, all the show is great, but you
right.
guys get the idea. But yeah, I'm interested to see whether Mando season 1 and 2 are equivalent to the Ahsoka show, because I think overall, man, this show, Riley, like you said, in Kiko, you have a lot of potential here. A lot of potential for figures: Troopers, Thrawn, Balin, Shin. You have Ahsoka. Of course, you can make Ahsoka the White, right? You can make
Yep.
the Sabine and her Howler. Like, you can make that. There's a lot of cool stuff, and we haven't even seen the last 2 episodes.
Ezra, we can get Ezra as well. They're gonna
Oh,
do something
Ezra,
crazy.
So I was a little bit perturbed, and I saw this comment too that she found Ezra in like 5 minutes. Like, she was,
Yeah.
her time in 5 minutes of showtime. Like, it took longer for her. It just was kind of like, like a montage of sorts, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty interesting. I do want to see. I can't wait for the next episode though.